Welcome back to Dishonored, the Brigmore Witches. We've cleared out the garden areas, doing some gardening work. Now the next task is to actually get inside the building, which I assume will not be a pain-free experience. I wonder, there we go. And then turn on the void gaze. Choke dust is nice. Oh, it would seem that the assassin we summoned actually were successful. Now there's a witch down there. I killed her earlier. So we can't actually get into the mansion this way. That's annoying. I guess that means that the course of action we'll have to take is through the graveyard, because I'm not going in the front door. Why are there new witches here? I haven't even reloaded the game. Oh, well, we'll just leave them there. I have no desire to mess with them. Repair the grave switch. Operate the crypt door. Ah, that's a statue of Delilah. And the moment we operated the crypt door, the rats ran away. There we go. Save. Yes. You're just gonna look creepy? Well, that's fine by me. Brigmore jewel box. Door to Brigmore Manor. Ah. Go to Brigmore Manor. I really don't like going in from a low vantage. But I guess we don't have much of a choice. God, this is going to be very annoying. Okay, all things considered, this does not look like a safe place. Yeah, there we go. What is that? If I shoot... I am not at all in favor of this. And this looks very bizarre. Okay, let's pick up the processed whale oil. Then have a quick look around here. There's nothing of interest. We can grab... Okay, so this door needs the west wing key, which apparently hangs on the inside of the door. Let's do our best. That should have alerted someone, but okay, disarm, and we can't loot. Now the thing about these witches is that they seem to do that. Which is both going to keep me on edge for the reason that they might suddenly appear beside me, but it's also going to scare the crap out of me from time to time. Although I'm guessing that might amuse you, my audience, quite a bit. I'm not a toad, I'm Daud. It's the difference between toad, Daud. Well, you're probably not going to find me.
Everything is fine, it seems.
I'm glad you think that it isn't really, but let's save and jump back there and do that.
Someone's down. Sister, I will put your teeth on a silk thread. Pay for this in blood.
So as you can see, there are a few of them in this building. Now I wish I had some vantage point where I could actually just blow them up. Let's see if we can do that by stopping time and then use the wrist bow and then boom. And then go back up there. Now isn't that handy? So, creative usage of powers is always a good thing. I don't know how many of the witches in the building I actually took out now, but I think that was a substantial amount of them. We can have many keys to the West Wing. This is a staircase going upstairs. I have no plans of going up there yet. I wonder what this manor looked like back in the days before Delilah and her gang turned it into a... I guess inside forest. Let's go back down. And have a peek inside of the West Wing. I'm guessing the front door would be around here somewhere? Maybe we're on the back side of the building. I'm not really sure where we are. No, the front door, of course. This is the that's where we're heading now. This door probably just goes in here. I'll keep that on. So this is the front door. Ugh. Save. Link over there. That didn't work too well. It's not that we need the ghost, but still. I don't know if this is going to work, but it might. It did. Okay, so that's one of them out of the way. Let's save. Let's see if we can... Okay, so there are witches up there. I did not count on that. Question is, can I hit her? I'm downstairs. Yeah, all of you keep saying that, but so far I haven't suffered because you haven't found me. Save again. See if I can get rid of this skull. Now that one looks to be more of a problem. If I blink in behind it. No. Okay, so we can sneak in and take out this skull. I'll save and see if I can take this skull from... I know you can hear me. There we go. I'm not terribly concerned about finding bodies. Particularly not a dog. Okay. So we are in the west wing. I can get us up here. There's a book. Shadow on... Okay, let's drink the potion so we get rid of it. The Shadow on Bitter Leaf. Finding my way by the feeble light of the dying fire, I saw her working. A large needle moved in her hand, following precise esoteric patterns, knots and loops of seamstress craft from ancient days. Beneath her needle, his body clenched and shuddered, shaking the wooden table. A morbid fascination pushed me closer, until she turned her blank face toward me, resting the needle in his flesh. With a refined tone, she addressed me. "So, you are the lover, I presume? You too have been unfaithful, and it is now your turn to be mended." That's rather ominous. Okay, so there's a dog in here. But dogs cannot open doors. Which is a shame for the dog. I don't know where she went off to. She probably blinked up to the next floor. This building is pretty intricate. Well, I do admit I do wonder how to get to the area over there. No secret doors or anything. Here has the door, however, which requires the key to the library. Which unfortunately these dead witches do not have for me. Can I blink in there? Nope. That I cannot do. So I'm guessing the only way forward is up here. And this place certainly is booby-trapped. Disarm this one. And this one. Have I missed any? Yes. This one. Can't carry any more ammo of this type. Now, what on earth is this? Search the studio. The lantern is apparently used to open a gate through one of Delilah's paintings. That sounds bizarre. Okay, Delilah's journal, the Howl from Beyond, and the Fugu Feast. As Gregory and Alia crouched in the dark of the upper hall, they could hear the thing drawing close. It had followed them from the forest, through the garden and into the house. Now, as they leaned against the wall, exhausted and terrified, they could hear it coming up the stair. Moving slowly, it scraped along, exposed bone dragging across wooden carpet. A ragged panting foretold its passage as dead air was pushed through a throat eaten away with rot. Reaching a grim conclusion, Alia swallowed. Her face went slack, and she gave Gregory a final glance before plunging through the window glass into the moonlight and night air. At the sound of her delicate body smashing against the cobblestone below, Gregory let out a keening moan, and as he did, his voice was matched by an unearthly howl from the stairwell, and the rapid scratching of clawed feet rushing up toward him. That's a very dark story. And then we have the Fugu feast. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. At the end of every year, after the last holiday or the last day of the month of songs, we begin the Fugu feast. The new year has not started, and thus the time that follows is outside the calendar. A period of celebration and feasting begins, during which the people abandon the very practices that keep them whole and healthy over the year. Many leave their homes, euphoric with spirits or potent herbs. Some paint their faces or wear masks to conceal themselves as they pursue their passions without reservation. When the right cosmological signs are observed and it is time for the calendar to begin anew, the sitting High Overseer calls for the hymn of atonement and the Fugu feast ends. Families return to their homes, wives to their husbands, enemies put down their weapons, and fires are extinguished. No complaint is given for those who have wronged others, deviated from ancient codes, or discarded oaths. This time, during the astrological alignment, does not exist and is not recorded. The following day starts the new year, marked on the first day of the month of Earth, as it has always been. There's a little tidbit of lore into how the year ends and begins. Apparently with a day outside the calendar or something. Okay, so Delilah's journal. Now that the painting is finished, I will sit in young Lady Emily's skin and wear her face like a mummer's mask. Havelock and his lick-spittles will put the child on the throne, but it is me they will be crowning, Delilah, the kitchen girl from Dunwall Tower. They called me Sokolov's apprentice, but whose paintings reach through the spirit? Mine. They will never know their blunder, but I will be sure to whisper it into their ears at their executions. My followers will bear the lantern to the gallery in order to open the way to the void. There, I will use the painting to complete the ritual. My walk into Emily's flesh must be undisturbed. The ritual has other uses, which I will explore over time. Any image made by my hand could serve as the focal point for the spell. I imagine one of my enemies as a still life, imprisoned in a bowl of fruit without amusement.
So Delilah wants to use Emily to become Empress.
Indeed. Okay, let's get rid of the tripwire. I assume that those arrows were actually pointing at the whale oil tanks. Rid of that. Guess we still haven't found a key to the library. Oh, for crying out loud. And she blinked away, didn't she? Gee, this manor is really extensive. Get rid of this tripwire. Oh, there was another one there. Missed me though. Okay, library key needed. That seems like a... guess it's an octant. No, it's the Brigmore sextant. Corrupted charm, leverage. And that does what? Pull power, distance and speed are increased, but the mana cost for the pull power is also increased. I don't think we need that. Let's just continue to sneak around here. Ah. Can I... No, I cannot, because she disappeared again. Ah. Okay. Yeah, you stand there, and I'll do that. Okay, so they're down there at the moment. Which is fine with me, as long as I can kill them. Oh. Okay, well, let's get up here then. That looks to be a door. Which puts us back here. Ah, yeah, this is the way that I was walking upstairs earlier. These projectile launchers targeting the whale oil tanks are rather nasty. This is the gallery. And also the final place that we should explore, I believe. Since I think that we will need to we will have to go into that painting. If I'm not mistaken. And then fight Delilah inside the painting. How do we get back to the... Right. Delilah's musings. I worked in my studio until late last night and completed the painting of Emily. When Daud kidnapped her, I was terrified that he might already know what I was planning, but it seems I overestimated him. He turned her over to the conspirators. What a fool! Once young Emily assumes the throne, I'll already be looking out of those lovely brown eyes. So this has been going on parallel to the rest of the story that we've played as Corvo, and also now as Daud. I'm not sure if the point we are at right now is before or after Corvo and Daud has their final showdown, where I chose to spare Daud. Here's a bone charm, carrion killer. Killing rats gives you some adrenaline.
Please, no, don't make me eat anymore. I can't. Brother Marcus, I denounce the Abbey. Wandering gaze, lying tongue, restless hands, roving feet, rabbit. The 7 strictures are 7 lies. The High Overseer is the whelp of a wolfhound bitch. The 7 strictures are 7 lies. 7 lies. 7 lies.
That guy seems to have been through some rather heavy stuff. Okay, Overseer's orders. Brother Pradcliffe, you are charged with surveillance of the Mutcherhaven district and surrounding estates. Travel there immediately and report all findings to the office of the High Overseer. If any signs of organized heresy are uncovered, send for additional support. Do not attempt to handle the situation alone. Remember the strictures and you will not fail. Overseer Cranton. Well, yeah, I don't think remembering the strictures helped him. Warning on corrupted charms. Excerpt from an Overseer's report on black market occult artifacts. Vice Overseer Melius. While traveling in Serconus, which is of course within your purview, I came across a matter that demands your attention. My brothers and I were using the overland route from Cullero to Karnaca, escorting 2 of our sisters from the oracular order as you requested months ago. My apologies for the delay, High Overseer Campbell is a busy man, as I'm sure you understand, and sometimes such deployments fall to the wayside as his mind is devoted to some immediate concern of higher import in our struggle against the outsider, like visiting the Golden Cat. Halfway to Karnaca, our caravan stopped in a lakeside town where we learned that a man had been recently murdered. Initially, this was no cause for our involvement until we heard about some of the things found in his keeping. Red wax candles that we suspect were mixed with ox blood, clippings of hair, and a painting that hung over his kitchen table depicting a small girl child carrying 2 dried leaves. I need not tell a man of your wisdom that these things were of concern, but other clues confiscated at the site were for far more serious. The victim's finely appointed rooms were located on the top floor, looking down over the lake. He was a merchant of some means, from what we found. It's clear that he was trafficking in heresy, attempting to buy an occult charm constructed of whalebone. What makes this case different is that the man was not attempting to purchase some superstitious sailor's carving from bygone days. Here we have a situation in which a private citizen and a functioning member of society actually commissioned the creation of a new artifact aimed at a specific purpose. Those offering this service, from what we can tell, were attempting to craft a new charm from shards of older whalebone talismans. Vice Overseer, we believe that this new artifact was damaged in some way, creating the rift between buyer and seller which resulted in murder. From what we've gathered, the item possessed some occult power. It also seemed to come at a cost, however, afflicting the bearer in several unwanted ways as well. Whether the individual or cult responsible for the creation of the corrupted bone charm made it that way deliberately, or whether their capabilities proved somehow inferior, is not something we know at this time. However, this occurrence matches other such stories from across the Isles. As a coddled generation has grown more accepting of heresy, Even taking delight in the tales of witchcraft found in lurid adventure stories, this is the result. Now, even those with no real connection to the void are attempting to devise their own disgusting rituals and talismans. Such corrupted bone charms and fractured runes could be even more dangerous than the original artifacts, as impossible as that might seem. As I must now journey to Dunwall to take up my next assignment, I leave any further investigation in your capable hands. However, I left copies of this letter with several outposts along the way to Kanaka, and I've asked that any loyal to the Abbey who come across these words, if they have the time and means, copy them for our brethren and for those over whom they watch. The merchant is dead, but those who crafted this corrupted charm still walk the land, roving feet. Our worries are not overzealous imaginings, as some would claim, but represent a very real danger. As you will agree, these matters should be of grave concern to any who wish to keep our lands free from the curses of the void. Overseer Angus Duncan, Freyport Outpost, Morley. Right. And then we have the interrogation. I was unable to extract much from this one. He was well trained. Feeding him his former companion elicited mostly useless sounds and mess. I'll try again tomorrow, unless he becomes violently deranged, in which case I'll have little choice but to put him down. I really don't think there's any point to...
What happened to you?
I denounce the oracles. The oracles. They saw. The Caledorn girl is the key. The girl in the painting.
Where's Delilah?
This comes to me. Blood will make a fine soup.
Well... I mean... Let's reload there. And grab the bone charm. And the stun mine. And let's take that stun mine.
Please, no.
And put it there.
Don't make me eat anymore.
Actually, that doesn't really help us, so let's try that one more time. We want to... I just want these in the journal. And what we'll do now is take out the stun mine, save the game,
Please,
put down the stun mine,
don't make me eat
and
anymore.
talk. Okay, so let's try that one more time, and this time...
Please,
What happened to you?
I denounce the oracles. The oracles. They saw. The Caledorn girl is the key. The girl in the...
Where's Delilah?
Sisters,
Okay, there we go. Save. Again, I don't think we can get Ghost on this particular mission, but there is always... I don't really see the reason not to try. Delilah's orders. I've ordered the lantern be placed in my studio in the West Wing. Use it to enter the painting, only if your situation is dire. I will be busy preparing for the ritual and cannot be disturbed. I trust you can handle Daud should he materialize. Delilah. Well, so far you haven't exactly done a good job, but... A second solution. Excerpt from a series of newspaper articles from prominent natural philosophers by Pierrot Joplin. It is through no fault of my own that the average citizen has expressed a preference for Sokolov's elixir over my own formula, as sold as Piero's remedy, a name I did not choose if you must know the truth. The public has spoken its usual message of idiocy, spending their coin as a means of selecting Sokolov's formula over mine, which I believe to be equal, if not superior. Much has been made over the popularity of these concoctions as a means of resisting this remarkable new plague. I say remarkable because this strain works with an efficiency we have not seen in the history of the Empire. This plague, now making its way through the city of Dunwall, is unrivaled in its effectiveness. I have studied it with the blood of those so afflicted, and it is nearly perfect, elegant in fact. And while it is true that Piero's remedy and Sokolov's elixir are known to protect the body against the plague equally, my own has properties not fully understood which relate to the mind itself and the spirit. And it is in this way that my formula wins out. Here is where one should pay attention to this contest, for you see, Sokolov's elixir, with its emphasis on the brute animal body, is a crass goo better suited for livestock. The subtle and secret variance in the key ingredients making a Piero's remedy ensure that it works on the higher functions that separate humankind from the mindless blue-jawed hagfish swimming in the Wrenhaven River. It's kind of amusing to know that we actually made the two of them quite good friends. I still wonder how we get into that part of the building. Okay, so we need to blink up here. Bone charm, spirit water. That's way too late. It's a very useful bone charm. It's one of my favorite ones, that when you get mana, when you drink from a fountain. Painting ritual. The painting of the possession target must be positioned above the altar. After preparing the ritual, the performer must lay on the altar. If the ritual has been prepared correctly, the performer will then enter into the body of the subject of the painting. Warning: the subject of the painting must be the possession target. Any other painting may trap the performer of the ritual. And there you have the non-lethal way of doing this this level. And again, I should remind you that doing things in the non-lethal manner is the actual canon way of doing the game. The Blight of the Cobblestone. Action is necessary if the Empire is to stand against the juggernaut of what is commonly called industrial progress. The momentum of this hungry beast requires equal vigor simply to halt its destructive advance. No action against the industrialization of our nation-states can be deemed too extreme when we understand what is at stake. The advancement of industry infects every aspect of our lives, and hazardous conditions assault the citizens of Dunwall daily. Workers are treated as disposable cogs in the machine, sacrificing their lives in the name of faster construction, mass assembly, and greater profits. Should those of us in opposition to these trends not sacrifice themselves in the fight against our unfeeling oppressor? Will we be satisfied when our children ask what a pasture is, and the best we can do is to point to a cobblestone street black with the filth of mechanical production? Will we struggle in the coming years to recall a time when we actually made our pies by hand or baked bread in the ways of our grandmothers? What is at stake today are our very cultures, from the cold north of Tivia down through Morley and Bristol, all the way to the warm south of Sorconus. All men and women with a love for our ways must stand against these changes. Well, I don't think that worked very well for you. However, I think we've cleared out the mansion. I have no idea where to get the library key. Which I must admit is a bit annoying, because I would like to get into the library before we go into the studio. Probably could have been hanging here, but... Okay, so there's a hole in the roof in there. Let me just quickly check if the library is before or after we go into the painting. So we might actually already have been inside the library. There is a way in through a hole. The question is whether it is upstairs or downstairs. I don't think it's up here. No, it's not. Down here we have been before. Okay, so it did mention something about the antelopes. I did not mean to do that. I just check that once more. You can get in by going up the stairs in the foyer. Go straight ahead, watching out for... Okay, so a board that's next to a sofa with an antelope's head on it. So that would be over here. This isn't the library. And I... Can I blow open the door with this? That works. So yes, we have been in the library. Because I distinctly remember having been here before. There's a book on the shelf here. Daughter of Tivia. Young Lady Amelia in the back garden. Duchess, I do not know of the... Oh, this is one of those plays. So, not really of much interest. Okay, let's just head on to the gallery then. I don't think there's much point to ending the episode here and then make a new episode just for the gallery, as the gallery basically just contains the fight with Delilah. But you know what? I think we'll do that actually. I will end the episode and we'll have a dedicated end episode. Probably will be a shorter one, but this one is already 50 minutes, so thank you all so very much for joining me, and I hope you look forward to the ending. So see you all next time.